All right, guys, we are ready, and I'm coming right over in the screen. I had to get one thing set up, but I am ready for this live. So, welcome everybody. How's everybody doing? Sorry, I was trying to get Instagram up. I'm getting tangled in my own cords. So, welcome to Sewing with Cecily. My name is Cecily, of course. I am co-owner of Sew Creative Lounge, and we are the culture keepers of sewing and quilting with a mission of teaching the world to sew one stitch at a time. So I'm going to check my audio. Let me get this up. Make sure you all can hear me, see me well. Um, and I think I can see my chat over there. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, perfect. Okay, no. That's not it. That's not it. Oh, yay. Here we are. I do see myself. Okay, Elaine is in the house. What's up? What's up? How's everybody? Okay, perfect. All right, so I'm looking at the Facebook comments. YouTube, make your comments. I also have somebody looking at that chat as well. So, welcome to Sewing with Cecily. Today, we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to be making a wine bag. A wine bag. It's a girls' night out wine bag. And I started it. I wasn't quite finished with it, but I do have a sample of what it's going to look like. So the pattern we're using is called Girls Night Out. It looks like this. It is made by the Sweet Tea Girls Patterns. It's available on our website. You can go to sewcreativelounge.com and order that pattern right now. And we'll have my admin team put the link for the pattern inside the chat, so you all can get your pattern for this particular project. I don't think there is a way to do it without it unless you just freestyle it. It's I would say, yeah, you kind of need this pattern. Sometimes I think you can do a freestyle, but this particular one you actually do need if you want to make this project. So I see Jennifer. What's up? I see Yvette, Deborah, Cindy, Vernice. Oh, it said audio's working good. Perfect. April. All right, perfect. Hi, Madeline. Okay, so I come on in the room. Keep saying hi. I got to get started because this project is a little involved, but it was actually a lot of fun for me. So let's go ahead and head over to the cutting table. All right, so here we are at the cutting table, and this is what I have a display of. Is actually two different versions of the wine cooler or the wine bag. One has this tan kind of matte finish, and the other one I actually layered with a what would you call this? A sheer fabric that's kind of shimmery. So it kind of reminded me of stockings. I'm gonna actually go over to camera 3 so you all can kind of see this close up. So let me go over here. Okay, all right. I think you all can see the difference in the fabric choices on the legs between the two. So this one is our Kona cotton. I think it's taupe. I think that's the color that I used here. And this one is the same Kona cotton, but I layered it and put a shimmering lace on top of it. So, you can kind of decide which one you want to do, whether you want to have something that looks more like pantyhose or if you just want to have a matte finish like this. So let's go back over to the cutting table and see what we need for this project. There are a lot of materials which you can find on the pattern, of course. So for your background, you need 1 fat quarter. For the lining, you need 1 fat quarter. For the leg, you need 1 fat quarter. For the actual shoe, so I used the batik for the shoe, and which was really, really nice. I thought it was super cute. So you'll just need a 12-inch square for that. You'll need muslin for a 1 fat quarter of muslin for your sublining, a low loft fusible fleece, as well as lightweight fusible webbing, and a package of binding. It's a lot of pizzas. A sheet of plastic canvas, a jewel or button for the back of the shoe, some stabilizer, and a little bit of polyfill, which I did not grab, but I can see it within view. So let me push this to the side. I want to read that to you all, but let's see what that looks like visually. So first things first, you have one square which you're going to use for making your shoes. So I've got my shoe template right here, along with the, what would you call this? My shoe template here. So this is the fabric that I'm going to be using to make my shoes out of. And it is, again, about a 12-inch square. All right, so let me pin all this stuff back together because I don't want to lose those little pieces. Next, you're going to need a fat quarter for your background. So I'm using black for my background. You're going to need another fat quarter of muslin. All right, another fat quarter of muslin. Then I did not have low loft fusible fleece. I used what I had at home, which this is a fleece, but it's not fusible, which I don't think. Let me just, don't do this at home. No, that is not feasible. I don't feel anything sticky on there. But instead, I do have machine embroidery adhesive spray. So I'm going to be using this with it, or you can use 404. You just need something so that it can temporarily bind to your wine bag. And you can continue to sew with it. So if you have fusible, that's great. If you don't worry about it. All right. So that's what you'll need for kind of the background area. You'll need also 1 fat quarter of brown or cream, whatever color you want your leg to be. This particular pattern has a design. It was white with some design. It looks like a pantyhose. So whatever you think is going to be good for your pantyhose, you can use that fabric for it. But I chose a taupe brown. And then again, I have this sheer on top of it, which I may or may not use. I'm not sure yet. And then the lining pieces, you need 1 fat quarter. And I also needed something they called for, a sheet of plastic canvas. Well, guys, I didn't have that. But what I did have was just random plastic hanging around my house. So I used, let me show you what I used. I have it before I cut it out. Oh, where is it? Ah, there we go. I had some tops hanging around my house. I was like, I'm not going to contribute to more plastic in the world. So I just used this. If you don't have this, maybe you have some takeout carrier tops. You just need something that is some stiff plastic. I would not go out and buy it because, again, there's enough plastic in the world that we can repurpose. And so you just need something as big as a template for the bottom sole of your wine carrier. Okay. So that is enough for the things. Oh, I have here for my embellishments, I'm going to use a glue gun. I found this brooch that was actually, I think, my great grandmother's. So I may use that, or I may use some rhinestones as well. And then you'll also need your bias tape. All right, so let's get started here. I am going to start because I've already cut out a lot of the pieces, but I did want to cut out with you the shoe template. All right. So I've already cut it out of, and we did not talk about this. Sorry, guys. 2 other things that you'll need. One is Wonder Under, or you need something that can be fused 2 pieces of fabric together. So I like to use Wonder Under, which is a fusible webbing. Okay. And you'll also need some embroidery interfacing. All right. So you can use, I like to use the tearaway type. So make sure you have that with you as well. So I have already cut out my Wonder Under in the template with the 2 pair of shoes and the straps for it. But what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cut out the 2 pieces for the, what do you call it? The shoe, the other shoe, and the strap. Okay, so let's go ahead and pin this down. We're going to cut it out. My iron, if you're sewing along with me, you want to make sure that that's getting hot as well. All right, so we have this one piece here. I am going to see if I can cheat this or not. I don't know if I can. I don't want to have to cut this out twice. Okay. Okay, hold on. I think I have another piece. All right. I'm going to use a slightly bigger piece just so I don't have to cut this out twice. But you guys, you can use a smaller piece. I'm just making sure that I have enough time with you guys. All right. All right. So this is doubled, so I don't have to cut this out twice. All right, so we're going to place this here and pin it down. I see everybody come in. Hello. Hey, Cheryl. I missed you today. Hi, Lynn. Patricia, what's going on? I'm trying to look at the comments and pin at the same time. Not a good look. Not a good look. Hi, Carlise. All righty. Perfect. All right, here we are. And you may be wondering, like, Cecily, why are you making this now? Well, it is January, but what if you're going to do like a girls' night out during Valentine's weekend, or you may want to do something celebrating a Black love, or you may be going to a party, any of those things. It's really nice to have a nice little wine carrier that's pretty cute. So that's why I decided to do it this way. So we're going to cut this out. And yes, you can use, since I already cut I've already cut out the Wonder Under, which is good. These are very tight curves. So you may actually want to use a small rotary cutter. That could actually work really well while you're doing this. I have a better hand with scissors because I've been using them a lot longer. But if you like to use your rotary cutter, go for it. Okay. All right. All right. I do want to tell you that I did bring my Bernina 570 into the studio today so I can show you guys how she works. I really was excited to bring it in because we have to do a little bit of stitching around the shoe, and the stitching on this machine it's very nice. It's very nice. So that's really why I brought it in. And yeah. Okay. Like I said, take your time with this because you don't want to have any jagged edges. I see people jumping on the screen. Oh, so what are we making? Yes, a wine bag. Yes, thank you, Jennifer. Okay. All right, my shoe is done. Now I gotta make these teeny. Oh my gosh, it's so small. It's so small. Sheila said, "Love my Bernina." I love my Bernina too. My first one died, unfortunately. I had I think it was a 610 with the embroidery module and everything. I just traded it in and got another one. Maybe another machine will work just as well, but it's like a learning curve. I was like, I don't want to have to go and try another machine and then have to learn all of the nuances of a new machine. So that's really the biggest reason why I decided to get another Bernina. There are lots of good machines out there, but once you get started on one, it's kind of hard to like keep switching between different machines over and over again. All right, so I've got my pieces here. It is so easy to lose your pieces, so make sure you keep them together. So let's look at the first step. It will be nice if the pieces are in order. So let me get that in order. All right, the first step is to actually tape the two pieces of the patterns together. So when you get your pattern, templates C and D are separate. You have to tape it together here, as well as pieces A and B. So you have to tape those two together. So that is step one. Super easy to do. Step two is just cutting out the background, which we have already done. All right, we've already cut out our background. We've also cut out of using the same background fabric, our sole on the for the shoe. All right. We are next. It's a lot of cutting, and we've already cut out our leg pieces, which we're going to be using next. And then we're going to be fusing those leg pieces onto our background. So that's the first step we're going to do, is fusing that on there. All right, so we're going to take our pieces apart. We're just going to take our black pieces. I'm going to pin this stuff all back together because I don't want to lose anything. All right, and we're going to take our ironing board and we're going to be fusing our leg piece to our background. That is the first step. All right, so move that over to the side. I think for sake of time, I am going to use, I've already done one shear, so I'm gonna keep the shear. I'm gonna talk about how to use the shear pieces, but I'm not gonna actually put them on today, just because I don't want to run out of time. Um, but I will talk about how to do that. All right, so we're pressing this out nicely. All righty, so actually let me put this to the side for a second. All right, so let's get those legs. And Wonder Under has a bumpy side and it has a paper side. So we want to put the paper side facing up, and then we're going to be ironing this paper, the paper on the paper side. Okay. All right, so let's get that started. All righty. Okay, remember you're ironing on the paper side. The bumpy side is the glue side. You do not want that all over your iron. All righty, so this is cool enough. Once you get that ironed on, you're gonna take it carefully. Ha, all right, and take the paper off. It's gonna leave the sticky part on there. This is not sticky to touch because it needs to be ironed again in order for it to be sticky. But I don't know if you can see the difference in the camera, right? Yeah, okay, perfect. Take your time to take this off. It is not the easiest thing to take the paper off. Voila. All right, paper is off. All righty. So we have our pieces here. I'm looking to see which leg I actually did already. That's the end result of what we're working on. I want to make sure we do the opposite leg. There we go. All right, so this is the one I'm going to be working on. All right, so we're going to use this as a guide to line this up. All right. That looks good. All righty. I'm looking at my comments. Uh-oh, I didn't swipe my comments away. Hold on. Where did it go? Oh, God. Okay, there I am. I'm back. I'm back. I got to make sure I can see my comments. Okay, there we are. All right. All righty. That's looking good. All right, let's fuse her on. So remember, I'm using Wonder Under here. And the first step I'm doing is fusing the leg piece on. All right, that is fused well. Okay, perfect. All right, it's on. Stuck. It's not coming off. All right, so now I'm gonna take my shoes template. The first thing I need to do is make sure I have the right shoe. Well, it's batik, so you can't really go wrong with the batik. All right. So I've got to fuse my Wonder Under onto my shoe piece. It's wiggly. Mm-mm. Why? Because it's such a skinny piece. So it is a little wiggly. Okay, I think I've lined it up pretty well. All right, again, make sure that your paper is facing down. Your paper is facing down. I'm just going to scoot my heel over just ever so slightly. There we go. The lattice vest is what we're going to do during the February 14th weekend, Fabraholic, the mini sewing retreat we're doing. So I will not be doing a tutorial here on live. Wanda says she just got her pattern. Awesome. Yeah, so I did order more. I have 10 in stock right now. I know that's not going to be enough. So get yours early. And then, so you'll have it. Okay, so I'm going to put this to the side for a second while it cools down. That is hot. That is hot. That is hot. That is hot. All righty. I'm going to fuse both of these. Why? Because I'm not sure which shoe, which one I need, which side I need. So I'm going to fuse both. Such little guys. Such little guys. Okay. All righty. It's on there. There you go. All righty. Okay, let that cool down. That's steamy. All right, so this one, while that's cooling down, I'm gonna take the paper off of this one. I hope you guys can see how ashy my hands are. My husband will be very ashamed. He's always like, Cecily, put some lotion on. Well, I did. And then I went to the bathroom and washed my hands again before I started the live. And they're ashy again. I don't think you can see it that well. All right. That is done. I'll put all of these pieces. I'm making sure that I put my extra pieces away because they're so small. It's going to be so easy to lose them. It's like finding a little needle in a haystack. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh. Please have your glasses on. If you have acrylic nails, good luck. Because you really do need to be able to grab the edge. I don't know, maybe you could try it with some tweezers, but yeah, I don't think if I had acrylic nails on right now. Or me, I don't do acrylic too much. I do my lives. I usually put on some press-ons, but I was like, today, there's no way I can work with Wonder Under with some press-on nails. Oh, Jennifer said we can't tell. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you. Thank you. See, all that to talk about a little bit of lotion. I'll get someone after. All right. So I see a little bit of my Wonder Under sticking out of out the side. So I am going to trim that so I don't get it all over everything. So you may not be able to see, but if you see a little bit of your Wonder Under sticking out from the fabric, go ahead and trim that up before you stick that on. Again, a good time to use your rotary cutter. All right. So because we're going to be pressing this again, and you can see a little bit of the Wonder Under, I am going to put a piece of paper on top of it because I don't want to mess up my iron. All right, so I am going to fuse this down. And while we do it, you can read the instructions. We are at the bottom of page 2. Add the shoe and strap. Multitasking. All right, the shoe should be on. Let's see. She is on. Ooh, she's starting to look cute, y'all. She is starting to look real cute. All righty. Now I have to figure out which side is which. And the way I'm doing that, okay, is the angle of these really small edges, of this small edge on this side. So I want to make sure that that edge is lining up with the edge of my shoe, and the other side is lined up with the edge of on this side. All right, so that looks pretty good. I'm gonna get my paper again. I'm gonna put my little piece aside in my bag so I could still make my other shoe later. All right. Voila. All on there. Let me cut this little string here. Perfect. All right, so we have finished page 1 and page 2 of the instructions. Now we are moving on to page 3. All right, page 3. So we've already put in our, if y'all can see the diagram, it tells you exactly how to put the strap on. Now we're going into actually stitching the shoe. All right, so I'm gonna go over to my sewing machine so you all can see close up of what we're doing. Jennifer said that's cute. Okay, let me change my camera view. All right, so guys, this is my Bernina. Say hello to her. I love this machine. I just got it when I went to the Sewing and Quilting Expo in Fredericksburg. And the reason why I like this machine is because of its wide zigzag stitch. So this one has a 9mm zigzag stitch. And that is so important for me because when and if I want to do bra making or something like that, I may want to do something really wide, a really wide zigzag like that. But I just don't want to be limited. So I did not get the embroidery module because I've never really used it on my last machine. But let's go ahead and get started and we can see how this works. So I'm choosing a zigzag stitch. I am going to, let's see, I like it at 4. I think I'm going to go to 0.5. So it's going to be a really, really tight um, stitch that I'm doing. So the first area it gave on this template, let me see. All righty. Can you all see this? It gives me numbers on the area in which I do. So it tells me the first place I'm going to stitch is accenting the heel from the regular shoe. All right. So if I look at my one that I already completed, I'm going to start with this stitch here, if you can see that at all. Can you all see that? Yeah, you can see it a little bit. So there's a stitch there. So that's what I'm going to start with first. And then I'm going to be going around. So let's see. That one goes from here to about, I want to say about here. All right, so I'm not doing anything really, really special. You know what? I do want to test this to make sure this stitch looks the same. So let me get a scrap piece of fabric. Let me test this stitch before I just jump right on it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that looks good. That looks good. All right, so my stitch is tested. It is looking good. And so I'm gonna get ready to sew. I am actually going to change one thing, how my machine is threaded. So just give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. There we go. Hey, Khadijah. All right, here we go. I'm going to do that accent stitch first, starting from here. All right, here we go. I want to make sure this looks the same. All right, so I'm aiming right in here. All right, stitch 1 is done. Stitch 2 is going to be between these 2 pieces here. All right, so let's go ahead. So I'm just pivoting a little bit so I can go around this curve pretty well. All right, 3, we're going around the inner part of the shoe. One thing I like about this machine is that I put the foot down with this button here, and then it allows me some give so I can move it around a little bit. And once I push down on the pedal, that's when it locks the foot all the way down. All right, I'm pressing down, putting my needle down, lifting my foot up, pivoting my fabric, put my foot down, even though you see I still have wiggle room, but it's not until I touch the foot of the pedal that it locks it down. Watch. You see that? It went right down. Love that feature. Let me check the comments. Okay. Yes, this is a zigzag stitch, but I made it really tight. So I can change the stitch length and the width. So I made the width at a 4 and the length is at a 0.5. All right, 4, I'm going around the strap, both sides of the straps. Hey D, how's it going? All right, 4, and then we got to go all the way around the back of the shoe. All right, I'm just going to adjust slightly. All right. That looks great. That looks great. And you know what? This is what happens when, yeah, I forgot something, but, and I could tell I forgot because it's waving here. You guys know what I forgot? I forgot to put the stabilizer on the back of my piece. So when I was doing my stitching, it wouldn't do all that waving. So I'm going to rely on ironing this out. But don't forget that step. All right. That is the thing to do. All right. So let's head over to the pressing station. All right. Yeah. So the other one I did properly, and I added the tearaway embroidery interface into the back of it, and I used the machine embroidery adhesive spray, and I sprayed it on it first. If you're using something like this, make sure that you're in a well ventilated space. All right. And once I finished, I tore away what was excess, and I just left that here. It's not really a big deal. All right. But because I didn't do that on this one, I'm going to try to make and see if I can smooth that out. And it looks all right. It doesn't look too bad. What y'all think? I think she's still cute. Yeah. When your mistakes are televised. Wow, that's all good. All right. So here we are. I have a little bit of, and I do not have my small scissors, but I see a little bit that I could cut away, which is fine. All right, that is looking good. All right, so now we have two shoes. What do you guys think so far? I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So we now need to place the two pieces together and sew them along the front and back. Okay. All right. So assemble the outside of the tote. All right. So that is what we're doing for our next step. I'm going to put this to the side. Okay. So we're going to be putting our two shoes together. All right. I don't think I need to iron, and I need to put this aside as well. All right, so I got my two boots. Yeah, it's not. My strap isn't 100% lined up, but it's okay. I'm okay with that. All right, so we're just gonna pin this down, pin this together. I'm touching that there because I can feel some of the residue, which I am not letting my machine feel that under its foot. So I'm just going to cut me another little piece. So when I go under that section, I'm going to be sticking this in there because I ain't gonna, I don't want any residue on my machine. All right, so, all right. And then, so we're going to be sewing along this side and along this side, and we're going to clip. Okay. All right, so let's go to the machine. All right, so we're going back to a straight stitch. Share those faux pas. Yes, I will. I shared that. And I think it says in the pattern this is a 1/4 inch, but let me double check. Press the seams. Okay, hold on. 3. I think I read that this is a 1/4 inch seam allowance. If I didn't, I'm still going to do it. I'm doing a 1/4 inch. All right, here we go. Mm, exactly. Correct it and keep on stitching. Alrighty. I know I can see through this, but I'm gonna cut it away anyway. Yep. There's always going to be mistakes as you're going through your projects. All right. I feel like I went one stitch too far. All righty. I've got my needle down in place. What are you doing? They did not tell me to do this. What am I doing, Cecily? Stop. All right, guys, we're supposed to be sewing this side and this side. I was not supposed to go down to the bottom, so I'm gonna rip that out. I got a lot going on during this live today. Blame it on my lack of sleep. All right, so we'll rip that little part. Glad I didn't do the whole thing. All righty. Let me get my ripper. I'm going to rip that little section out. All righty. So just one little section that we are not supposed to sew. Because I got to put the sole in, the next step. I got super excited. It's all good. Ooh. The cool thing is now I can get a sneak peek of what it's going to look like. All righty. There we go. All right, I'm going to stitch all the way to the bottom now. All righty. All right, we're going back over to the cutting table. All right, so we have done a lot of work. Let's see. Oh, we're at 52. And we are going to be adding the sole. I'm trying to find the page with the sole on it. Here we go. We're going to be adding the sole to the bottom of it. So it says in the instructions to make a little slit on the bottom and the top so you can easily put it in there. And it actually tells us to hand stitch across this edge. Well, y'all know I'm not going to do that. So we're going to go to the machine and we're going to baste it in with a size 4 on the top and the bottom. It's also telling us that we need to sew the sides of our lining pieces together. So I'm going to do 2 steps. This is my lining. We're going to do right sides to right sides. And we are going to sew along 3 sides of this bag. Okay, so let's go over to the machine and do those 2 steps. Again, a 1/4 inch seam allowance. All right, let's pivot. Another feature of this machine is I actually use the heel of my physical foot to put my needle down. So I stomp back on my heel of my foot, and that's how I get my needle down. All right. All right, let me pivot. All righty. So now I'm going to lengthen my stitches. Oh, this goes all the way to a 6. Oh my goodness. I'm going to lengthen mine to about a 5 and go around so I can baste this in. Thank you. I'm glad you're having a good time. Alrighty, so I'm just going to pull this ever so slightly. Alrighty, there we go. Alrighty. All right, I'm just gathering this a little, just a little bit. That side does not want to gather. All right, that looks good. So it's gathered a little bit. All right, back to the cutting table. All righty. All right, so step 4, we're going to be adding this to the bottom of this. Let's do that now. All righty. So the front of the foot should be thinner. So I've got that center seam here. I'm going to line that up here. And guys, if you have to jump off, it is okay. We are going to go a little bit past 1. I'm not sure how much, few minutes, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes I have to leave exactly at 2 o'clock, but today I'm like, I actually really want to see this finished. So I'm going to work through the end of this project. All right. Ooh, it's starting to shape up, guys. It's giving us some shape. All righty. Oh, I don't need this anymore. All righty. Oh, my comments. Anybody say anything? Oh, so my mom is in the comments. She's like, I wonder if your dad would like one of these. Maybe. I mean, I think it's kind of cool. I don't know. I feel like this is maybe a woman's line. Maybe he'll want to gift it to somebody. That will work. I got a time limit. No, we're gonna extend just a little bit because I've got to finish this. It's just too cute. All right, so we've got to box out these corners, so we need to open this out. We're gonna measure 1 inch from the edge. I've got 1 inch here. All right, we're gonna be measuring 1 inch from the edge here to here. I'm just gonna use a pen. That's where I'm gonna sew. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Yeah, Jennifer, that's what I said. It's more of a lady's bag. But my dad makes one, so I was thinking that maybe he could use it as a gifts his customers with this wine bag. All right, so we are going to box this out on both sides. All right, and we're going to sew the bottom of our seam here. All right, so that's 4. All right, let's head over there. Oops, I did not change my stitch length. I'm going back to a 2.5. All right, so I've gone all around the heel. Next, I'm going to box off these corners for the lining. Uh, yes, that is a 1/4 inch. I'm sewing everything at a 1/4 inch. All right, so let's cut off the little ears. Great. All right, so we are almost done, guys. Let's head over to the cutting table. All right, so we have to assemble the tote. The first thing that we need to do is to build the sublining. All right, so we're going to be fusing the muslin to the fleece here, okay? All right. And whenever you're using this adhesive type spray, you want to protect your work area with some plastic, aka a garbage bag. So you're gonna put your spray down. You're gonna spray this. You should be doing this in a well ventilated. I'm actually gonna cover my mouth for a second. So if I sound weird, it's because I have covered myself so I don't breathe this toxic stuff in. And again, the instructions call for fusible, but I didn't have it. I am a big advocate of using what you got. All right, got that on. Ooh, I can still smell it. Hold on. Whew. All righty, so I've got one. Let me spray this one more time. I'm gonna just use a little bit because I am in a very closed off location. All right, I would normally use more than that, but I'd also normally be using this outside. And I have many years to live, so I will not take this off my nose just yet. All right. All right, this is fused together. It asked us to cut off a 1/4 inch from this, um, so it's not in the seam. But I am going to keep going because all righty. All right, so we are going to oh, look what I did, guys. I'm rushing. I'm rushing. I'm rushing. I'm rushing. I made 2 left feet. It's all good. It's still a little sticky on that side, so it's all good. Here we go. All right, so let's head to the cutting table. We're going to sew these 2 pieces together. All right, so we have all right, we're going to head over to the cutting table. I've got to grab some batting, so give me 1 second. 1 second. Talk amongst yourselves as I go get a piece of polyfill. Luckily, it is not where I said it was going to be. All right. When you don't have any polyfill, you could use a pillow. So I'm going to open up a pillow and take out a little bit. All right, so I have my polyfill with me. So now we have, it tells us to give the firmness, we will add the inner sole made from plastic canvas. So that's what we have here. So we slip the sublining fusible side out inside the tote bag with the right side out. So we're going to flip this. Here's where the magic is happening. Uh-oh, she's looking cute, guys. Ew. She's looking super cute. I can't believe somebody's calling doing my live. Who's calling the studio? They should be watching. Let's get your. Oh my goodness, this is adorable. It's looking good. It's coming alive, guys. Our wine. Our wine. All right. All righty. Veronica said, we're hanging in there. All right, it's not that much left. It's not that much left. Once we get this in here, she is adorable. Oh my gosh. All right, so for the toe, it asks us, let me get these stitches out, to put some polyfill in there. Oh my gosh. I'm loving her already. All right, so we've got that in there. So we have to add a little polyfill into the toe of the shoe. I know somebody's going to come in and say, Cecily, you opened up our pillow. Yes, I am. And I will be sure to stitch it back after this class. All right, so this is my hack if you don't have polyfill. I forgot that we used all of our polyfill when we made those bags. The pillows for the breast cancer awareness. We used every single piece of polyfill we had left. So, anyways. All right, I'm going to cut this open. Carrie, I promise you I will sew this back properly. Okay? I promise, for your class on Saturday. Nobody will know. Nobody will know. All right, I'm just making a little hole to stake out some polyfill. That's it. That's all you need, just a little piece. Okay. All right, so let's stick her in. And put some polyfill down in there. All righty. So this last few steps, all right, the toe is full. All right, we got to get the lining in there. And I think this is about where I'm going to, and the last part is about basting the, got to get my shoe in there. Actually, let me take this out, put this in there. She is looking cute. It's a lot of fiddling. Maybe I shouldn't have worn this big sweatshirt to get that in there. Oh my gosh. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. All right. She's too big. She's too big. Let me trim. Let me trim. I forgot about the seam allowance. I forgot that. Let's trim her down just slightly. If you find that it's too big, it's probably because of the seam allowance. All right, let's get her in there again. Y'all still there? Everybody's like, I want to see it. I want to see it. Me too. Almost there. Almost in there. Oh, 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 gorgeous. And you know what else I don't have? A wine bottle. I found some ginger ale. Alrighty. Okay, she's there. She's there. She's there. All right, I'm gonna put the lining inside. Um, your homework is to use your biased tape around the top edge of your wine carrier. All right. But everything is in there. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. So the last step, guys, is using some pre-made bias tape. If you want to put a handle on it, you can. Um, but you'll need to cut you off a piece and top stitch this on there. Should we go ahead and do that? Are you guys in a rush? Let me know. I feel like I should do it. Alrighty. Now, if you were going to take your time, you would sew one side on and put the other, but because we're pressed for time a little bit, I am going to just do one stitch. I'm gonna pin this around. Um, you also may want to have a handle. You can create that as well. So let's just see how this is going to turn out. What is my mother talking about? She said you could, okay. Dee said no rush. Okay. All right, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going, guys. Yeah, sometimes when I started this project, I said this is gonna take more than an hour, but I didn't want to tell you guys beforehand. I said, all righty. So it says to add a separate tab, but instead of me adding a separate tab, I am just going to make a loop for the end of my bias, my seam binding, and that'll be my loop, my little carrier. That's not what the pattern asks for, but that's what I am going to do. Let's see, what else does it tell you to do? Oh, I think we're it. Okay, let's go over to the table. I mean the sewing machine. You will probably not be able to see much. I'm sorry. Can you see anything? I'm just sewing it one time around. If I had more time, I would change my thread to black. But All right, so I'm gonna make my strap in one piece. Um, all right, this is just so we can make a little loop here. All right, I'm just gonna tack this in place. I would probably make this a little bit more finished, but at least we can see, guys. All right, let's see. All right. All right, so let's go to the front camera. And here we are, guys. Oh my gosh, this is a super cute wine carrier. I love it. I don't have any wine, but I found in the refrigerator some ginger ale. So I'm going to stick that down in there. And yes, it does actually work. I love it. I love it. So again, guys, we pasted the wine carrier pattern inside of the chat. Um, I love it. I love it. If you want to make it look like stockings, you can add an extra layer of like a shimmer sheer fabric, which I did for this other piece, which I thought was super cute as well. So stay tuned. I'm excited about this project. I can't wait to see yours. I want to see what colors you make your heels. And happy sewing. All right, guys, I'll see you all next time. Let's see. Okay, perfect. Oh, yay, so cute. Oh, yay, people love it. All right, I'll talk to you all later. And Friday, I come back again. We're going to be doing Quiltaholic Friday. So stay tuned. That's going to be Friday at 5 p.m. All right, until then, have a wonderful day and make sure you all shop at sewcreativelounge.com. If you have any beginners locally or any children that are interested in learning how to sew, we do have our winter session starting up this weekend with that beginner class on Saturdays, and our children's class, so very essential, is starting up on Sunday. All right. Until then, I will see you all later. Bye.